Hello, Sagittarius, and welcome to Indigo Rising Tarot. Thank you so much for joining me today, and I hope you're having a great day. This will be your weekly reading for the week of August 23rd through the 29th. And during that time, for most of the week, we do have the waxing gibbous moon, and that is where we're about mid-cycle and those things that you started during the new moon, we're going to look around and see what's working and maybe what's not working, make the appropriate adjustments and show that we can be flexible and finish those things or get started. Oh, kitty, I'm right here. Our cat that is getting older when I'm doing readings is like, where did everybody go if I close the door? Hi, kitty. You can hang out in here anyway. This will be an intuitive. Oh, I was talking about the moon. So yeah, we have the waxing gibbous. So show that you can be flexible, make adjustments, that sort of thing, and then move on and continue. We then have the full moon that comes in on the 28th. And this time that is also accompanied by the blood moon lunar eclipse, which happens that Friday night. So pay attention to those. If we have the regular full moon energy, which is, being a little irritable, heightened emotions, that sort of thing. The eclipse changes that a little bit. So go look those up and see how that might affect your life. So keep those moon energies in mind as we move through the week. And this will be an intuitive general reading for energies that you may or may not encounter, Sagittarius. So as always, please take what resonates and leave what doesn't here on the table for someone else. And your overall message for this particular reading: a new start is coming, with a new moon card there. So of course we're halfway through this cycle, so a new start's always kind of coming, isn't it? But you might have a particular new start, Sagittarius. All right, as I'm shuffling the tarot, usually I would have a fun weekly reminder that I would talk about as I'm shuffling, but this week I do need your help on something. I'm thinking about doing, the occasional live stream after summer and maybe when the weather's not as great outside. But just little free 1 or 2 card readings and letting you guys answer or ask questions, that sort of thing, and do little readings on a live stream. So what I need from you is just if you could leave me a comment and let me know what day of the week you might be more interested, and also the time of day. So just drop that into the comments for me, and I will take all of that information into consideration when I'm starting to schedule those. So I do appreciate your help so much on that. So thank you. All right, let's get into this reading. Sagittarius, August 23rd through the 29th, a new start is coming. Your present energy, Knight of Cups. So your new start definitely has you being open-minded and moving kind of forward with an open heart. You're just in a good place emotionally, and in a place where you can actually actively express your emotions right now. So, and this could just be a new emotional start for you. Maybe, we're kind of going through this change of seasons, where here comes fall already, and it's kind of around the corner, and that sort of, I know everybody's schedules are kind of changing, and there's just a shift, right, that happens with each season change. So, but you're heading into this with an open mind, open heart. Your current situation is that you have been hard at work at something with this Eight of Pentacles. So, many times this is about work. Sometimes it's just about something else that you're working on. This could be something, personal in your personal life that you're working on, some goal that you're trying to achieve. And again, because we're in the middle of this cycle, if you need to make adjustments, and for example, this would be like if, let's say, you started a new diet on the last new moon and you're finding that there's one part of it that's not really working out, that either you're not sticking to for whatever reason, then make the appropriate adjustments. Maybe you need to remove something from your life or add something in that kind of takes the place of something that's not as healthy. So I'm just using that as an example, but whatever adjustment that you need to make that makes the thing work that you're trying to work towards. So make that adjustment and do it, because you're definitely hard at work on something right now. At the root of your situation is the Four of Cups, which is about being a little bit kind of just dissatisfied about what the universe is offering you at the time. So, and again, this could just be self dissatisfaction where you're not happy with yourself before not achieving some sort of goal, or you're working hard at it. Look, so sometimes things take time, and especially if this is a personal change that you're making, don't beat yourself up over mistakes. Just get up, the next day and do better. That's really all you can do. But also this card, what is the universe offering you that you're feeling dissatisfied about? And I've, once again, I anytime there's a change in kind of how I see a card. And there has been the past couple of weeks, and I've run up against this kind of saying over and over, which is basically that if you are trying to manifest something in the universe, to make sure that you're saying yes to some smaller things that may not seem like it's towards your bigger goal, but it might be something that's a stepping stone. So keep that in mind. If there's something that comes at you and you're like, well, that's not really what I want in the end, it could be that the universe is saying, hey, take my hand here, let's work together. And this other small thing might be leading you towards the bigger goal. So just make sure you're not kind of judging things that are coming at you too harshly, right? Have a little bit of an open mind. What is in your recent past is, yeah, you're coming into all of this, you're relatively happy and coming into this, whatever change you're trying to make, open-hearted, hard at work, a little bit dissatisfied, but a new start is coming for you, whatever that might be. Again, it could be that you're going to achieve this goal that you're trying for this new moon. It might be that you do have to start it again during the next new moon. And that's just sometimes how some things go. Some things just take us a little bit longer to work at and to work into our lives and make change upon. What is on your mind this week is the Three of Swords. So, yeah, a little bit again of disappointment. And I feel like this is self-disappointment, that you're disappointed in yourself for something, and you need to not do that. We're trying to keep a positive mindset when you're trying to manifest something, and really just keep your eye on the prize. If we're so focused on the minutia and the little failures that we're having, it's really hard to see the bigger successes that we're having as well. So make sure that if you are having little things that you're butting up against, little disappointments and things, that we just try to dig past those, and again, get up tomorrow. Tomorrow's a new day. Get up and try again. And that's really all you can do. And don't beat yourself up over it, because then you get in that mindset and you just get more of that. So it's hard, I know, sometimes to stay positive, but really try to maintain your positive attitude right now. What is just ahead of you this week is the star card. So look, you're on the right path. You know, the star card is about, it is written in the stars. You're following the direction that you should be going. You're drawn to certain things, and really watching for those signs, and making better decisions for yourself. So this is, the stars about having the clarity to move forward, and really, to be prosperous. But it is about being optimistic. I was saying before that try to maintain optimism through those small little things that seem like failures. Those are really just the steps that we're taking to learn things so that we can have bigger successes down the line. What is in your advice position here is the King of Swords. So the advice is to just maintain your logical self. We come at this with this open-hearted emotion, emotional night, trying to be action on the emotional front. But this king is going to trump that by saying, look, this is a logical thing. It's not about emotions or how we're feeling, or again, nitpicking. Don't nitpick. If you make a mistake on something that you're working on, again, just dust yourself off and try again, but look at the big logical picture. So, that's your advice, is to try to maintain your logical self and not let your emotions kind of take over and run you down. Sometimes they can do that. We all have times where it's like you just feel a certain way, and that's just, you need to try to get that mindset of just being, just do the logical step. It's very especially if you're an emotional person, that can be harder. It can be easier said than done, but really try to maintain that. Come here, kitty. I'm right here. I know you forgot, but I am right here. All right. What is beyond your control this week? And that is the Justice card. Look how very similar those two looking at us here. The King of Swords is about logic. The Justice card is just about the truth. And it's maybe facing our truths when it comes to those little failures. Come here, kitty. Where'd you go? Facing those truths, and facing, again, we're trying to make adjustments right now, even with the moon energy, showing that we can be flexible and make adjustments where they're needed. So make sure that whatever truths are coming in for you, you just make those adjustments, and then we move on. Hi, kitty. Do you want to read cards with me? What is your secret desire, or what are you trying to avoid? Is the Three of Cups there. So is it your secret desire to kind of celebrate these successes and the fact that you've been hard at work? Or are you trying to avoid that because you're, again, having this self-pity party about these little tiny failures? So, sometimes just hanging out with friends and talking about these things and talking them through can also be encouraging. So get with other people. It might be, you might be trying to avoid that at all costs, but it might be just good advice to get around other people and talk some of these things through. It's a new start that is coming for you. I feel like you're already hard at work on it. You just got to overcome these smaller obstacles that you're facing right now. All right, what is in your outcome position here is the Ace of Cups. So here you are again with an open heart. And again, make sure that you remember your logic and face things logically. Come here, kitty. Come here. And face things logically, because I feel like, is your heart getting in the way, or emotions getting in the way of your success of working at this? Because maybe, and it could just be your mindset. But again, overcome those things that are, those little challenges that come up as we're working on a big thing. There's usually small things that we do have to learn along the way and put into the proper context and proper space. So, again, maybe get together with friends just to kind of alleviate some of that, and keep your open heart. I mean, that's just where you're going to be. I mean, I feel like you're just really, really feeling things this week, and that may change for you next week. So come here, kitty. What is hidden from you here at the bottom of the deck is the Two of Wands, which is really about looking off into the future. I feel like you're just dealing with the now right now, which makes sense. There's not a whole lot of looking into the future, but again, a new start is coming. So this might just be your little warning sign that, look, things are going to be better next week. Um, and that's just the way some weeks go. Some weeks we get, more in our feelings than we are in our logic, but maintain that logic if you can, Sagittarius. All right, let's get you a final wrap up here from the Soul Oracle deck. Final message here for Sagittarius. And the card for you is to find your backbone. Yeah, I mean, I think you do have to just stand up to some of these feelings that, again, there's times when we're trying to work on things, we do make little mistakes and little conflicts and things come up, but that's just how we learn. So keep that in mind. All right, what do you need to do in the way of self-care, Sagittarius? Self-care for Sagittarius this week. And the card that you get is the card that says decision. Interesting that we've got this Justice card here. Sometimes the best decision is no decision at all. So these truths are coming in, this equilibrium of balance here with this Justice card. We've got those two. Maybe just continue on your merry way, not making big decisions, especially when you're busting up against these obstacles. Just kind of overcome them. If you make a mistake on something, you just get up the next day and you don't make that mistake again. So here, kitty, come here. I will give you a treat in just a second. Anyway, so Sagittarius, thank you so much for being here. I do hope there's something in this reading that you can take away and use in a positive way in your life this week. Again, I think you're going to be feeling things, but try to keep that logical part of your brain intact so that you can just do things logically and just kind of brush off these kind of obstacles that you're hitting. So anyway, thank you so much for being here. If you're comfortable sharing, of course, drop me a comment down below. Let me know if anything resonated, or if you have questions about anything, I'd be happy to answer those for you as well. Also, if you like my reading style, hitting like and subscribe is really kind of you, and I do appreciate that of you so much if you haven't done that yet, or if you're about to do it. So thank you so much for that. But it helps you find me next week. Come on back and let's see where your story goes next time. So I'll see you next week, Sagittarius. Thanks for being here. Bye-bye.